Good morning, Britain. It's just gone 8 o'clock on Monday morning. We're still with Mirror's Kevin Maguire, the Mail's Andrew Pearce, along with aviation analyst Alex Vaccination. So, Alex, we still don't have evidence is less effective against the South African variant of coronavirus. The Health Minister, Edward argued. Ed Miliband has said that Labour must be a patriotic party in order to win back support in a future election, despite the party being criticised after its new strategy to focus on patriotism and Union flag was leaked.
So should we all be a bit more patriotic? Joining us now, columnist Owen Jones. So literally did not mention the huge majority of people who were killed in the Holocaust.
No, apparently not. And, I mean, another example, which is in the
issue of Twitter trolling and inflammation of racism and bigotry and abuse and so on. I think that is a major problem and getting worse by the day. And it's not just about anti-Semitism, it's about, racist abuse of black footballers and so on. It's really getting out of hand. And I've noticed an acceleration in the last year in particular, maybe because more people are on Twitter from the pandemic, or maybe it's something more orchestrated and insidious.
And I wonder whether it's massive fines for the social media companies so that they take action more quickly. What, in your view, would work on those who think it is OK, partly because they're anonymous, they can get away with it? What's going to stop them?
But I also think that the individual should be held accountable, because I think if you issued a lot of big fines to people that are just doing this with impunity, I think that would be a major factor in deterring people. At the moment, there's simply no deterrent. It's like the Wild West. It was a fascinating book, Jews Don't Count. Urge people to read it. It's a good... I like the length of your books, David Baddiel. It just hits the right length in a pandemic. I read it in a day. Really interesting stuff.
Lovely.
Best of luck with that, and good to see you.
Thank you. Bye.
Lovely to see you, David.
Lorraine's here. Morning, Lorraine.
Good morning to you. Let me tell you what's coming up. Sue Perkins.
Still to come. Vernon Kay, please.
Tells us how he's playing his part in the fight against coronavirus.
Our border policy right now, because there are 41 countries with cases of the South African variant, but 29 of those have not been added to the UK's red list. And that means it's been estimated that 205,000 passengers from countries that have the South African variant may come into the UK before hotel quarantine is established in a week's time. I don't understand.
Can I
You're bringing in the enforced quarantine taken directly to hotels, but that isn't happening for another week. And in the meantime, 200,000 people will come in from countries with the South African variant. This makes no sense unless the reality is that you as a government have simply not prepared us again properly by having these hotels set up ready to accept. And you can't even tell us whether you've got any hotels ready to go. And the speculation I've read is there aren't any that have been signed off yet. And that is why you haven't got the enforced quarantine starting for another week. And in the meantime, hundreds of thousands of people will be pouring in here from countries with a South African variant. That seems to me a bit of a loophole in your incredibly strong border policy.
Two things.
This week.
You don't know the answer, do you? You're the health minister, and you've no idea if we've got any hotel. Do you know if we've got any hotels signed up?
Piers,
correct me if I'm wrong, but I would argue all the unanswered questions about the South African variant right now should be this government's absolute priority. And yet it seems to me that when you have enforced quarantine coming in a week, with hundreds of thousands of people coming in from countries that already have this variant, that screams to me to be a major problem. And then I ask you as health minister, do we have a single hotel currently signed up to accept these people? And you haven't got a clue. And I'm sorry to be disparaging, but that seems pretty shameful that you don't have a clue if we've even got one.
Piers,
you don't know the answer. So maybe, look, I think we should end it here. And I honestly recommend you go and get the answers. And if you want to come back tomorrow with the information we've asked, I think our viewers would greatly appreciate it. You are the health minister. Anyway, we've got to leave it there. Mr. Arger, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Vernon Kay has been doing...
Are we being unfair? I get accused of haranguing these ministers. Is it unfair to expect the health minister to know if we have a single hotel signed up for this enforced quarantine?
Or to know
Is it unfair to know how many people are
isolating?
currently obeying the self-isolation, because we know the numbers are low? I don't think it's unfair. These should be basic facts that a health minister should know in a pandemic, I think. OK.
So, as I was saying, Vernon Kay doing his bit for Britain in the fight against coronavirus. He's volunteering as a steward at Bolton Wanderers Vaccination Hub and describes the experience as one of the most heartwarming of his life.
Well, Good Morning Britain is back tomorrow from 6 and we'll try again to get some straight answers out of the government about this very serious crisis that we're enveloped in. Wasn't easy today, but we make no apologies for trying, and we'll try again tomorrow. Here's Lorraine.
Thank you both.